This is the La-174. Basically an LA-15, in fact, it's pretty much the exact same thing, except it's not in the tech tree, it's a marketplace vehicle, so you can buy it for money. It doesn't really offer anything over the LA-15, it's just the special LA-15 that's on the marketplace. That's pretty much it. I've wanted to make a video on this plane for a good while now, but right when I bought it, Real Shatter happened, and then the guns kind of just did nothing for a little while. They were still usable, of course, but it felt like you just had to dump so many shots into everybody in order to actually get kills. The day I'm recording this video is July 14th, and this morning they actually released an update to the Real Shatter stuff, and I was kind of wanting to test out the NR23s on the LA-15 again because, or LA-174, they're basically interchangeable. But I wanted to give it a try again to see if the guns were a bit more usable now, and it seems like they're a bit better, but still really inconsistent. Definitely not as good as they were a year or two ago, but they're definitely manageable and a lot more usable now. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I used to play this thing a lot, and there is not a single gun in this game that I suck more with than these NR23s. I just can't hit shit with these for some reason. Anyway, the reason you clicked on this video is because I had 10 kills in the title and thumbnail, which did happen, and I'm going to show you. Real quick though, I want to talk about the matchmaker for this thing real quick. Today I've played 3 or 4 games, and I haven't seen a single game above 8.3, so the matchmaker seems like it's really friendly right now for this plane, but there's definitely a chance I just kind of got lucky, who knows. This game was actually played on Hokkaido, which made me happy for nostalgia reasons. The start of this game isn't crazy interesting. There's an F-84 who is suicide climbing for me, and then I gotta take this long head on with an F-3D because I have zero brain whatsoever. Can't hit the straight flying plane to save my life for some reason with these guns, so, I mean, what are you going to do except not take the head on? A couple of 262s at altitude, and luckily 262s aren't the greatest planes in the world by any means, so that's not really a huge problem. Closing in on him, take some shots on this guy. I think I get a crit here. Oh, never mind. No, I don't. I'm tripping. And the other one's trying to come for me as well, and I just got to roll out of the way, kind of take it up. They're not going to be able to turn around and be able to catch me easily. In this plane, especially in a down tier, I kind of just trying to find the biggest horde possible and try and just fly around above them until one of them stalls themselves out for me, which happens a lot, surprisingly. Took a bit of a risky shot on that 162, losing a bit of altitude and really not being all that fast, and there's a Banshee and an ME-262 behind me, but luckily neither of these planes are really a huge threat. The Banshee kind of is, I guess, but I can kind of just go up and he really won't be able to follow it. Ultimately, the play in this thing is just to get everybody else slow, and you hold energy like so well in this plane that it's really not that hard to do. Although I did kind of misjudge how fast the Banshee was going, and he is going to actually be able to get a shot on me here. I'm just trying to stay out of the way of that as best I can, and he's not able to pull in all the way, so basically we ball. However, I am still slower than I'd like to be, so I put my nose down a little bit, try and gain as much speed as I can, try and get a shot on this 262. I think I hit it. Oh yeah, there we go, the one shot, nice. That's kind of what I'm talking about with the NR23s. Sometimes they one shot, but a lot of times they don't. With the way they were before today's update, it seemed like that never really happened, but it seems like it's happening a little more now, which is very good, very nice. Now at this point, I can kind of prioritize where I think I can get the most kills possible, and there are 3 players below me that I can try and kill. I try and go for the biggest group of them possible in order just to rack up as many kills as I can. In this case, it's going to be the 229 and the Banshee. Banshee's coming up for me, though. I kind of didn't think he had the speed to get order to get up, but he almost gets a shot off. Luckily, he doesn't. And now I've got prime position on this Horton, which, Horton, not a very good plane. I can kind of do whatever I want, except hit shots, apparently, because I just suck with these guns. I put some shots in him. I don't know what I damaged, but he's probably damaged enough to where it's going to affect the way his plane is flying. So I'm just going to loop over on top. I'm fast enough to where I can just go up and then re-engage when I go back down. Luckily, he is going to kind of put himself in a spot where I can just shoot him. He's not really moving very fast, and I click him out of the air. Up next is a 162. I feel like I almost never see these things anymore. Granted, I don't play around this battle rating very much, but even when I do, I feel like I never see them. Take some long shots, don't hit any of them because he maneuvers out of the way, and I probably would have missed anyway. I take it up because he won't be able to follow that. It's a 162, I'm an LA-174, like this plane is just straight up better in every way. I will say that the 162s are kind of squirrely. They're a little hard to hit because they're so small, and you know, my aim's still not very good, but you know, we hit that, so he's crit. Thought he was going to go into the ground, but he didn't, so gotta try again in just a second. Take notice of 2 players not too far from me. Need to keep them in mind while I'm trying to kill both of these guys, because they very well could sneak up on me if I get a little too tunnel visioned. But in order not to tunnel vision, all I gotta do is just kind of keep them in view, keep mind of where they're at relative to me and what I'm doing. Sort of fly the other direction for a second to put a little space between us, because I honestly am not really as fast as I'd like to be, but both of these guys put their nose straight down for this SK-60 below me, which, very good for me. Things could have turned out a little bit different if they decided to choose me. And I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but my aim is completely trash with these guns, as you're about to see. I'm about to spray all of the rest of my ammo on this Banshee. I am going to kill him, but it was literally with my last shots, and now I'm out of ammo and have to RTB. Ultimately, if I did save my ammo a little bit more, maybe there was a chance I could have gotten 11k, but there's a lot of things I could have done to probably get me that 11k in this game. Once I'm back in the air, it doesn't take me terribly long to get back to the fight. Ultimately, it is Hokkaido. It's a pretty small map. Take a bit of a risky head-on with this F80. None of them hit. Don't know why I did that, but essentially we ball because I'm alive. And because that's an F80A, I can kind of just go up, and he won't really be able to do much about it. Now, I know it looks like he's gaining on me here, but this is an La-174. I am still faster than him, but he is trying to cut inside of my turn, trying to pull lead, trying to hit the shot, but I can just slowly spiral climb, and he will eventually fall out of the sky. Ultimately, if you are in an F80A and someone does this to you in an LA-15/174, you don't want to follow this up because you're not going to be able to. Somewhat confident I can get a shot in if I get my flaps down, so that's what you see me doing. Get the flaps down, trying to pull in as hard as I can because the F80 is very slow, and now he's going straight. So I guess I didn't really need to put the flaps down because I thought he was pulling in, but he wasn't. Take some shots, miss of course, but I hit those and a one-shot, so very good, yay. I think this is the point where I realized I could potentially get a pretty high kill game, so I was like, oh man, and started getting nervous because I'm a shitter and get nervous in War Thunder for some reason. See an F80 looks like he's AFK climbing, which I was like, okay, this might be a free kill, but you know, as soon as I start getting close, he starts pulling in for the head-on, take the shots, hit nothing, and pull off because I don't want to die to a head-on. I'm not crazy fast at the moment, but I am going fast enough to where he's not going to be able to turn around and catch me. The 162 below me is not going to be able to, but the Banshee, on the other hand, looks like he might be able to get close enough to get a shot, but I am still pretty confident I could just slowly turn and start going up, and they won't be able to follow. Fortunately for me, the Banshee ends up flying away and just kind of completely ignoring me. I guess either going for ground targets or maybe he sees that F84 way over there. I was a little worried about this F80C for a second because the F80C does have a lot more engine power than the F80A, which, you know, hence why it has a higher battle rating, but luckily, still an LA-174, I can just spiral climb and I will pull away from him. As you guys know, 50 cals can definitely shoot that far, so I was just really hoping he couldn't pull enough lead, and I don't know if he could or not, but he was shooting, and the guns were just going ever so slightly behind me, so I don't know if that was a case of where he just couldn't pull hard enough, or if he just wasn't leading enough. And since he followed me as far as he did into that climb, he's going to be really slow, and he's diving out now. Take some shots, don't hit those, but the second burst hits and kills him with only a few rounds, so the guns, this game at least, seemed like they were working a bit better. The 162 sort of pulled off, and he's below me. Still a 162, I can still just go up, even if he is a little bit faster than me going into the climb, so not really an issue. He actually sort of fooled me into thinking he was going to just fly straight, but he ends up coming back up. But I mean, still, I'm an LA-174, still fast enough, still have the retention to just go up and do it over again. He ends up diving away, and as he's diving away, he's sort of going to his team, I guess. Found the Banshee from earlier and also an A2D. Take some long shots at the A2D, and nothing hits, of course, and then I'm just going to go back up again because I can. Also notice a TU-4 way up in the sky. Great. Just going to continue to go up, keeping these guys all in sight behind me, making sure the Banshee doesn't have enough speed to get shots off, which luckily I'm pretty much just out of range. He might be able to hit one of those, but from that far away, it's really going to be hard. Oh, the TU-4 is right next to me now, so I'm going to try and hopefully get some shots off on him, at least cripple him in order for him to crash or something, but I miss all of them, and I don't want to die to his turret, so I'm going to fly away as quickly as I can. Took my eyes off all the guys right behind me, and they all unspotted, so I'm not sure exactly where any of them went. I just know that they're kind of in the general vicinity below me. Banshee gets spotted again, and I don't know where the other two are just yet, but he's climbing up for me, which, very good for me. I can just go up again and hopefully stall him out. Kind of ends up going horizontal, so I'm going to go down and try and get a shot off on him. Luckily for these 2 seconds, I figured out how to aim and hit it, and it one-shots him. Very good. Found the 162 again, going to try and fly towards him. Notice an F9F way back there. Didn't even know he was in the game. I ended up choosing to go for the Panther instead. It is a slightly better plane, and honestly, for some reason, I just find them very satisfying to kill. So that's who I'm going for first. Went down and picked up some speed. Thought he was going to just AFK in front of me, but he turns at the last second, so I don't hit the shots. Unfortunate. And he ends up just flying straight for a minute and then turning once I turn around, so he kind of just gave me his 6, which is not ideal for him, but for me, very good. And now you'll proceed to see me miss a whole bunch of easy shots again. Unfortunately, all the knowledge of my aim from the last shot is just out the window. Start shooting, just not even leading like anywhere near enough. Luckily, he's really slow now. I'm gonna be, you know, pretty much point blank. Take off his wing, start spinning, take one more shot, and actually just secure the kill. Now, all that's left is the 162, the TU-4, the IL-28, and the A2D, so basically balling out. Gonna set my sights on the IL-28 just because I know if I ignore him, he'll end up just bombing and going back to his airfield. There's not much time left in the match timer in this game, so I want to just kill everyone as quickly as I can. Try not to use much ammo, take a couple shots, set him on fire with a hit, which is nice, and that's the first of 3 fires I'm going to give him. Normally I'd leave him be and just let him fall out of the sky, but unfortunately that doesn't even happen. And plus, the 162's over here as well, and I still do need to kill him, so just gonna kind of fly back that direction. Since at this point I'm assuming the IL-28's crippled enough to where he at least won't be able to go his top speed, and I won't have any problems killing him later, I take the 162 up into a spiral. And once again, this is an LA-174, that's an HE-162. This kind of really isn't a competition. But weirdly enough, seeing a 162 in game makes me want to go try it out again because I literally have not played it in years. And because this guy has committed to this fight, I'm going to get my flaps down thinking I can hopefully get a shot in, thinking he might pull off at some point, but he kind of doesn't. Just going to keep tapping the flaps, hopefully be able to pull in all the way, and I think I'm going to. but I end up actually not. So take it a little wide, go up a little bit, trying to give myself some room to actually pull back in, because he is basically sitting still at this point. And this time I'm actually going to be able to get my shots on and take him out of the game. Now the IL-28 is trying to fly back to his base. He's going to end up crossing right in front of me right after I killed the 162, so pretty good timing, so I'll be able to slide in and get some shots off. I do have to be wary of his rear gunner. It does have 223s, and those can do a lot of damage if they hit, but his gunner might have been dead. I might have killed it earlier. I don't really know, because it didn't take one shot at me, so essentially we ball. Do a little dance around the IL-28 for a second, take another shot, and set him on fire again. And what do you know, he puts that fire out too, so I gotta take some more shots. I only have 20 rounds left, and now he's on fire for a third time. I want to secure the kill, put my last few shots in him, set on another little fire, and now I'm almost out of fuel, but luckily he goes down. Time to RTB again. The A2D was ground pounding. He actually put his O's up for me to try and take some shots at me, but I think he just kind of accepted his fate at this point. It's an A2D, like it's a prop, and you know, I'm an La-174, so he's not really gonna do much about that. Gonna proceed to show you the worst aim ever, and I'm gonna do it again in just a second. As I said, looks like he kind of just gave up, accepted his fate, missed some more shots, and eventually set him on fire. And that's gonna be the 10th kill of the game. I was feeling pretty optimistic that I'd be able to get an 11th kill, but unfortunately there's like a minute and 10 seconds on the timer or something, so I mean, he's on the airfield in a TU-4. By the time he got up in the air anyway to a point where I could shoot him down, the game would be long over. So that's that, 10 kill game. Not gonna complain, but I really wish I could get an 11K, dude. Haven't done that yet. Alright, that's it from me. I'm out. Later.